それではスピーチを再開いたします。ハレルヤこと藤川晴大さんによります。My Propaganda です。藤川さん、よろしくお願いします。
スクリーンに映っているのは皆さん大好きな赤いリンゴです。ではなぜリンゴは赤色なのか、皆さん考えたことありますか？リンゴは赤色に決まってるじゃないかと思っていたり、そもそも当たり前すぎて考えたことすらない人もいるんじゃないでしょうか。そこです。そこに問題があるのです。確かに規模がリンゴなら問題はありません。ですがそれが世界規模で起きていたらどうでしょう。普段私たちが当たり前だと思い込んでいることが何者かの陰謀なのかもしれません。いやいや、そんなこと実際起きないだろうと思っているそこのあなた、実際に過去の世界の歴史を見ていると同じようなことが起きていたのです。その実態とは何だったのか、1900年代のドイツと絡めて皆さんと紐解いていきたいと思います。バックトゥジナジータイム。Who painted this painting? The person who painted this picture is Adolf Hitler, as everyone knows. Hitler was the leader of Nazi Germany. He was trying to be a painter before he became a politician. He painted a devastated landscape in World War I, but he would make some kind of landscape later. In 1929, the world was in the middle of confusion from the Great Depression. The economy in Germany getting worse under the influence of World War I and the Depression. In such time, Hitler administration made public projects and policy like basic work sharing and his successful economic recovery. Just 4 years later, he became chancellor. He surprisingly changed Germany with a new dream and hope to Germany full of energy. Moreover, he gained a high approval rating because he also made some policies of environment, education, and medicine, which is almost similar to SDGs now. As a result, he won 90% of votes in referendum in 1934. Furthermore, Henry Ford and Coco Chanel, who were world-famous people, started to lean toward his opinion. Hitler felt genuine public distrust in German people, saying, "Jewish people are our enemy, they are cause of our unhappiness." With his concept of eugenics and his popularity. As a result, there are anti-Jewish ideas expanding in Germany. Even people who got suspicious about his way of thinking started to have blind faith because of his miraculous success of economic recovery. However, when the world realized his madness, this monster ballooned like nobody could stop him. Then, why people couldn't realize such danger? There is first thought involved. Fascism is about domination system. But people couldn't realize it. Because it seems to be a paradise. German people at the time were led to think German people are most beautiful and Germany is the most marvelous country in the world by Hitler's words. So why did people get swayed by fascism? Fascism controls our feelings such as fear, hatred, and apathy. Those feelings cannot be created from nothing. They are found our weakness that exists in our hearts and use them as a weapon to attack us. What a smart approach! Careful everyone! みんな気をつけろ! Knowing the weakness in yourself, we must be more clever and stronger. As living a life, we sometimes give in to negative thinking. Everyone might have their own thought under coronavirus, and the world is chaotic. Some people having feelings such as sadness and anger. Some people are suffering from a sense of emptiness. When you are in such situation, and if someone says some kind of good things, and if you brainwash it like you are in paradise, and if you feel those that seem like shining, and if you we could be also those who are attracted by the person and place without thinking. But when you stop thinking, you will be controlled. Controlled by someone might make your life much easier. But it's important to use your own brain in such a world which changes a lot and information is used as a weapon. Never stop thinking. Unlimited power the human create can be good or bad. Under coronavirus and the Great East Japan earthquake, people had inefficient choices for other happiness, even if they sacrifice themselves. On the other hand, people had efficient choices like authoritarianism. It's important for each of us to think and selections. A few months or few years later, of our thought and selections are going to make our future in a good way or bad way. It all depends on your motivation. Thank you for your listening.
ペリー先生、コメントお願いします。
Thank you, Hallelujah. I didn't know where you were going with that at the start, and I was getting a little nervous at the beginning of it, but you pulled it together pretty well in the end. The dangers of fascism can't be understated enough, and it's a parasite on society. You mentioned Hitler's economic recovery. One important thing to remember is that economic recovery came from stealing properties and business from Jewish people and giving them to members of the Nazi Party. But you also talked about being able to think, and I think the importance of critical thinking in fighting ideologies like fascism is very important. Mark Twain once said that when everyone is telling you something wrong is something right, it's your job to plant yourself like a tree in front of the river of truth and say, no, you move. And I think that's something to remember, especially in a society like Japan, where so often we are told to just go along with what everybody else thinks. I think it's more important than ever to remember the importance of thinking about what you're being told and analyzing it and criticizing it and standing up and speaking out when something wrong is happening. So I think it's great that you realize this at such a young age. People who are much older than you still haven't realized it, as we see in examples throughout history in many parts of the world right now. So I think that's very good, and I hope you continue to talk about this message. Thank you.
Thank you.
お願いします。
15の君、もう16になったのかな。
15歳です。
15だよね。15の君がここまで考えられるっていうのは、日本将来大丈夫かなと思いますね。なぜかっていうと、君らの頃からプログラムされるんですよね。これがいい、あれがいいとかいろいろね、いろんな教育の中で。プログラムされたら、それを解除するのはもう至難の業ですよね。洗脳だから。だからそういうふうにして、ドイツ国民はヒトラーは素晴らしい総裁であるというふうに洗脳されて、多分その準備があったと思うんですよ。で最後はみんなそう言って、そしてユダヤ人をみんな殺しちゃったわけですよね。だからそういう意味では、心の声を聞く練習をしなきゃいけないよと君は言ってるんですよね。だから心の声を聞くというのは、ただ聞けって言ったって、そういう言葉の勉強をしてないと聞きようがないですよね。だから今君はそこに立ってスピーチをしてる。そういうもうとても意義深いお話でしたよね。だから自分の頭で考える、心の声を聞ける教育って何だろうということをこれから君らが考えていく、そういう時代になってきたのかなと思いますね。今、ペリー先生の言葉でパラサイト・オブ・ソサエティ、社会の寄生虫、そういういろんなウイルスのようなパラサイトが僕らの中にどんどんはびこっていく。それをかき消すのが心の声ですよね。だからそういうものをこれからもどんどん勉強してほしいなと。なんかもうどう見ても15歳には見えませんね。なんか21歳ぐらいの青年ですよね。立派ですね。ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。